Can you hear and see me? Hello everyone. Is everything okay sound-wise, picture-wise? How's it looking? I've gone a bit different this time. Just gonna noodle around a bit. Just let me know how the sound and the picture is. I'm a bit dubious about this one. You can hear and see me. How is everything? Is the lip syncing? Sorry, let me, is the lip syncing? Oh, perfect, wow. That is amazing. This is a new setup. I've gone fancy. Wow, I honestly didn't expect for it to go so swimmingly, because I can do this. I can type in anything here, and that pops up there. That's perfect. Look at that. Look at this. I'm almost a proper streamer. I'm getting there. Well, okay. Hello to UK Guitar Noodle. Here's a lick for you. And retrospective, here's one for you. That went a bit awry in the middle, that's fine. Urban Sword, here's a pinch harmonic for you. There's several. Bagmouth from Mars, you can have a dark bomb. And that's everyone. That's everyone who's commented anyway. I'm just going to noodle around a bit, just to get things going on. Got a lot to get through. A lot to get through. It always takes me. It always takes me a moment to let there's nerves, to let the nerves subside and ease into it. Chill. I've got to listen to this loop and chill. Little bend there to get myself out of trouble at the end. Well, let's get a nice little bass line going there. And let's get a poll going. The poll question. The poll question. I should have thought of this sooner, but I didn't. That's okay. It means that it's all spur of the moment. Poll question. Okay. It's not really a poll, so I'm going to stop that it's a poll. I'm going to put that it's a question. Which player do you think Here we go. Erase all the spelling mistakes, and then we're going to get cracking. Can I pin that? Of course I can. Easy. There we go. Hello everyone. So good to see some of you here. I was thinking this the other day that when I start these, it's always very daunting to plan them in advance, and then have no one turn up. And what would I do? I'd still talk at the camera, I suppose, as if there were people there. JD, hello JD. Okay, people answering the question. There we go. So, solo concepts. I've given myself a massive subject here, and I've just discovered by looking over like that with my head and my eyes that I've not given myself a cup of water or a glass of water. So we're going to see how far I get before I just have to excuse myself to go and get some water. Gone fuzzy, says UK Guitar Noodle. Am I fuzzy? Am I fuzzy for everyone else? Let me know. Is the sound fuzzy? You've got to let me know these things. Bit of feedback is what helps me keep these streams getting better. Hopefully that's the plan with this one, that it's gradually getting better, because I've now got this thing over here. Okay. Do my neighbours hear everything? My neighbours hear everything. They hear me practicing saxophone, singing all the time. My piano is on the adjoining wall, so they hear that as well. And they definitely hear guitar all day, every day. Okay. This is the part where I feel really rude, because I can see chat ticking away. And I've got to stop looking at chat. I'll review chat in a moment, but keep it coming because it helps the stream reach more people. Like it, share it if you really want. Anyway, solo concepts. As we play, I'm not getting into scale and chord theory. I'm going to assume, I just have to assume that you know that stuff. Where scales come from and where chords come from. Basically, chords are derived from scales. They can be, you can think of it that way. That you've got a scale first, say C major, nice and easy, and you play a note, miss one, play one, miss one, play one, miss one, play one, until you get 3 notes at least, and you end up with a chord. In that case, it'd be a C major chord. Anyway, that's scale chord theory. I'm talking about soloing concepts. Let's go with that. What about if you've got a C major chord? Like that. What are the notes of C major? I've started with C major just because everyone loves the key of C major. The key of C major is this. And just going to get to grips with the new setup. You're just going to have to deal with it. Okay, yeah, so the notes of C major are C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And I've just played the notes C, E, G. But I played them all together. They're the arpeggios. That's the arpeggio. Play them together, you get this chord. The first point that I want to make today on this hastily written scrap of paper with the solo for, don't know what song I was teaching, but that's a guitar solo. I don't know, probably Lynyrd Skynyrd or something. Guns N' Roses. The first point is to really think about basic solo concepts is to think in intervals. Don't think of whatever scale you choose or arpeggio or anything as notes anymore. To try and be like Neo from The Matrix. Has anyone seen The Matrix 4? I've seen the first 3. The first one's okay. The second one is less okay, and the third one made me not want to watch a fourth one. Anyway, in those films, he sees the Matrix done with it's just all zeros and ones in binary. You got to look at each key so equally. So to stop thinking, to reach a point where you know the 12 major scales inside and out, to the point where you just see them as equals, and you start seeing them as root, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. That's what I'm looking at. When I see C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, I see that as root, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. What that does is it frees you up into thinking about different approaches to soloing over, in this instance, just something simple like a C major chord. In other words, using scales that either use all those, like the major scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, some of those, like a major pentatonic. Sorry, I've got a bit of an eye twitch today. It's been doing it for 2 days now. I'm starting to panic. Need more sleep. See, a major pentatonic, which is root, 2nd, 3rd, 5th, 6th. You don't need them all. That gets rid of the 4th and the 7th. So, if we're talking basic solo concepts, I have to get that first one out of the way, the C major scale, which is root, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. See what I've done there? I don't know what that was. That was really out there music theory. I'll have shifting while pressing all the numbers. Okay. So, because the chord is derived from that scale, that's why that works. I know I'm starting really basic here, but I've got to, because I've got to drag this out for an hour. Let me go even more basic. Okay, they all work. So you jumble those notes up and it sounds good. It sounds like music. You know that I love this idea of talking about two sides of the brain, the musician side of the brain and the guitar side of the brain. The guitarist side of the brain just memorises shapes. This side of the brain does all the homework, works out what key you're in, why certain notes work, why you want to choose this scale over that scale, why notes don't work. The reason why I bring this up is because when I do this, I'm not thinking of C, D, E, F, G, B, C. I'm not even thinking of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The guitarist brain takes over, and my ear takes over, because at the same time as anyone learns music theory, you're training your ear. When you cement this knowledge in your mind, why certain notes work, you get opinions, you get taste, various things come into play. But it all results in you just playing the muscle memory stuff. And you can be as obnoxious as you want. Just filling it with noise. All your crazy, stupid legato stuff, all your alternate picking and your sweep picking, as long as it's those notes, it's going to work, because that's where the chord came from. So what about a major pentatonic? I said earlier, the scale degrees. What did I say the scale degrees of a major pentatonic are? Let me know in the chat. Does anyone know that? I mentioned it earlier. Starts off with root. What are the rest? It misses out 2 notes of a major scale. Someone let me know. Got 7 people in the room now. That's amazing. Okay, yeah. So Ibanez sword 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. I know there's some comments above Ibanez sword. I will come back to try and read some of those in a moment. So we've now got C, D, E, G, A, B, A, C. Why would you take notes away? I suppose when you think about okay, here's one for you. I've taken F away from E, and I've taken B away from C. What have those two notes got in common when it comes to the notes around them? Can anyone let me know that in the comments? Why do you think, or do you know this? Why the notes taken away? Ibanez Sword has just said it in one word. That's two questions now. Ibanez Sword. Gold star coming if you get the third. It's really tempting to read and answer those comments in the chat, but I'm not gonna yet. Exactly, semitones. The semitone between E and F, get rid of that. The semitone between B and C, you get rid of that. Because those notes suck, says B Around's Reviews. That is also true. Because of that reason, they're tough to handle. Here's an F against the note C, the chord C. It sounds suspended. It sounds like it's just next door to that E. So when you hear it, it's not that nice. It's what I would call an avoid note, not a wrong note, because I played about 50 of them before when I did this. There's one in there, there's one there, there's one there. So it's just avoid. You play it in passing. You try not to land on it. So in playing the major pentatonic, you've got the root, the second. You can also refer to a second as a ninth, the third, the fifth, and the sixth, which you can also refer to as a 13th. Depends how fancy you want to sound. It's very jazz terminology to refer to them as such. It sounds like this. Everything's nice and spaced out. It's hard to go wrong with a major pentatonic scale. Do you hear that? The notes are very spaced out. It's got a very distinctive sound, the major pentatonic. I don't like using the major pentatonic over a dominant blues, something like this. Mess the loop up there, doesn't matter. I find it a bit cheesy. I like to use it over a major 7 chord. It's like soloing with all the tough notes taken out. You have to, when you think about what a pentatonic scale is, it's just 5 notes. I know I've added the C on there. Really, I shouldn't. It's just 5 notes, but you've got to know the different patterns, or else you're just in 1 octave then, and that's limiting. So there's the voice going. So you need to know where they all are on the neck, and that's the homework that I can't help with. That's just hours and hours of practice. I did it, so anyone can. Right, let me delete that loop, and I'm gonna have a look at chat. I've seen it ticking away, and it's really tempting not to look. Okay, here we go. Beer Hounds Reviews. Testament, Signs of Chaos, please. I know the song, but there's certain bands where if you requested them, Metallica, Slayer, where I could just go, oh yeah, that's the one, and play it, because that's how I learned. I learned playing guitar using those songs and those riffs. Testament, no, I don't think anyone wants to sit and watch me work out riffs. I will have it prepared if you remind me next time. Okay. UK Guitar Noodle wants Freebird. Same applies. The only song I know by that band. That song and many others is what I teach a lot of. That's all coming up in a video, Thursday's video. I filmed it today. A lot of similar riffs. It's very riff based, the next one on Thursday. Anyway, who's better, Friedman or Skolnick? Don't make me answer that in public. I'm not going to answer that one. JD, do you mean when you learn the patterns, learn the dots in the diagram as their numerical interval rather than just dots or even not? Yeah, do you know what? It starts with the dots. Let's be honest, we learn in dots. So when I play this, I got there by learning the dots. But then over time, you do start, there's a major sixth, there's an octave, there's a fifth, there's a major third, there's a second. You do think along those lines eventually, and that's a work in progress for me. I did it there because I'm very confident there, but to leap over into 11th and 13th, it's a lifetime of practice, all that stuff. But yeah, it starts off with the dots. I had this book of Joe Satriani's songs. I love it when chat derails me onto other subjects. I had this book of Satriani songs, riffs, and stuff like that. And in the back, I remember writing 6 strings and frets, and then another 6 strings and frets 7 times, and seeing if I can draw the modes out from memory. I was about 15. I was always destined to be a guitar teacher, I think, even back then. So that's my recommendation to you. Draw out, print out blank 6 lines. When you're waiting for the kettle to boil, and doodle it. Just draw 6 lines and go, what was that scale shape I'm trying to memorize? Write it. When you can do that, and again, there's some people in here, I think, who have lessons with me. This is all, I'm bringing out all those chestnuts that I usually do. You should get to the point where you look up at a guitar on a wall, you look at a picture of a guitar. You can look at my guitar, I bet, and you can see an A chord, this thing, and this thing is a G. And I bet you can see a minor pentatonic position 1 on fret 5. Everyone can. A minor pentatonic. But can you do position 2 of a G minor pentatonic scale on my guitar, on a guitar on a wall, on a picture, drawn out from memory? That's the point that you've got to reach. Then you start thinking about intervals. Okay, we've got 8 people in the room. We're looking for those double figures. You've got to like the chat. And comments, because it just helps me get seen. It helps the community grow. This whole old helmet says strap-on spelled backwards is no parts. Now, that's a bit of wisdom that I could never pass on to you. But this old helmet shared it with the rest of us. Thank you. I might come back to these. Let me just have a quick read of one. Be around reviews. So you can play any song in just one block of 7 notes. Correct. It depends on the song. Some songs change key. This book that I just handily have knocking about. Songs like that, Periscope by Bill Evans. That changes key a lot within that song. So there's a lot of stuff going on there, but this is jazz. This is that's music for people who get bored being in one key all the time. But let's be honest, pop, rock, funk, soul, blues, classical tends to stay in one key. So most songs you could play, if you memorize those Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, Locrian, going along forwards and backwards in any key, yeah, you're well on your way to being able to play more songs from memory. Okay, yeah, okay, right. I can see more questions, and I'm not going to get swayed. 9 people in the room, nearly on those double figures. Right. Let me consult the notes. That's major chords. Major chords are a tough one. Tough to make sound cool, especially in the world of hard rock and heavy metal. So why don't we go over to the slightly somber, melancholy side of things and do this. Okay, on the screen here, I'm going to put F back there, and I'm going to put B back there. I'm going to delete, no, I'm not going to delete that. I'm going to delete that. And I would like you to let me know, what do I need to change on that bit of text to make that into a C minor scale? Let me know what I need to do while I play a C minor jam. I've gone wrong. I was in D. It happens. Urban Sword says E flat and A flat. Is anything missing there? C minor. Dorian. I've just got Dorian. That could go on and on and on, but I'm not gonna. Okay. What have we got? Retrospective comes in with the correct answer. Flatten the third, flatten the sixth, and flatten the seventh. Definitely that is what makes up the natural minor scale, or by its Sunday name, the Aeolian mode. Let me do that then. So that turns that into an E flat, turns that into an A flat, and turns that into a B flat. So very briefly, going on to this chord scale theory, that means that if you play one, miss one, play one, miss one, play one, miss one, blah, 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 until you get 3 notes, that results in the notes C, E flat, and G. So, how are we doing for time? Okay, I've got loads I need to get through. I've not even gone on to the solo concepts. And people are leaving. Okay, don't leave. I'm going to get there. So, C minor, that's what I played down here, just a C minor group eventually. I was in the wrong key to begin with. Pop-Up Pirate is here. Hello, Pop-Up Pirate. So there's a C minor groove with a bit of a bass line implied there, a B flat there, which I can do because it's in the key. The same applies, so I can just play C minor stuff. Whoops. And it's going to work, it's going to sound good. In key. But we want to delve further. Solo concept. So, what if I made a point now? I'm getting on to my point that I'm finally making now, after half an hour, of thinking about those notes, C, E flat, and G, as my landing points. That's a lot of information at the top there. C, D, E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat. There's too much going on there, I feel, at the minute. So I'm gonna just use the arpeggios. limiting. It's limiting to only play arpeggios. It's not fun, particularly on one chord for too long, for me or for you, but it's necessary. I got a bit lost there. I don't mind. I don't ever say that I'm perfect at playing everything. I just demonstrate concepts. That's a nice simple pattern. So I'm playing C, E flat G, C, E flat G. That's guitarist side of the brain stuff. I'm not here to show you that. You look up C minor arpeggio, you're going to find 1,000,001 websites. That's not what I'm getting at. It's a nice Ingve sweet pattern. Over here, I went major there by accident. Should have done that instead. That's another one. Nice other sweet pattern there. Well, minor sevenths, why not? You just got to memorise them first, and then play them all around the neck, and get really confident being able to do it. I kept playing the minor seventh. It's tough for me not to, because I like the minor seventh. I like adding at least the seventh in the stuff that I play. Anyway, we've got double figures, 10 people in the room. Don't forget, like and keep commenting. It helps it grow and see other people see it. Right, that's a necessary step. That's the necessary step where it's real head down, looking at the guitar. Because not only are you working out, you're increasing your fretboard knowledge, but you're also getting your ear used to notes that sound correct, that sound like landing points. Why is that important? It's important because when you go back to then adding the full notes, you know, I'm playing a C minor arpeggio there, so when I add those other 5 notes, they're nice frilly bits to stick on there. So then, if I want a definite ending, or if I want to switch on something more definite, as opposed to something a bit more out there. That's ninth. The ninth is a good one to show this because you end on the ninth, and if you bend up slightly, it sounds like a nice ending because you reach the minor third. The slower the better. Okay, that will nicely lead me on to where I'm going with this. But I'm going to have a look at chat because this is my channel, I can do what I want. Okay then. Ben said, if you left the beat, it would be harmonic minor. Yeah, that would be true. But I've painted myself into a corner in that respect because listen to my backing. Oh, I've deleted it. My backing track had a B flat in it. Now, no one's going to notice. And then if I put a normal B in no one would really notice if I put that B in there. If I was planning on doing harmonic minor though, I would make a point of not putting in that B flat in the little bass line that I did. Yes, Pop-Up Pirate, hello, yes, good. Good to see you. And Matt, hello. Blue Monster Art, hello. Saying yellow. I don't know what was that. I don't know what that means. You'll have to remind me why you're saying yellow. I might ask the question about colours. Pop a Pirate, if in doubt, I think, what would Yannick Jers do? You've made me read that out loud now. And embarrassingly don't know how to pronounce his name. Yannick Jers. That bloke who swings his guitar around his head from Iron Maiden, that's how you pronounce it. So complex, even he can't play the same thing twice. Yeah, just play it fast, fit all the notes in. No one will know, no one will notice. There's 11. Urban Sword says almost 10. There's now 11. Whoever that 11th person is, say hello down there in the comments. Yes, Gers says UK Guitar Noodle. Would chuck his guitar about first? Yeah. Is he endorsed by Stratlock, a Stratlock company? I feel like he should be if he's not. Yes. Worm Thompson, hello. Good to see you breaking theory down again. You always have a good way of showing and explaining. It takes me a minute to warm up. If you were here for the first 5 minutes, or if you intend on watching it, just skip it. But I've got into the flow of things now. Just got in from work and joined in and started watching. It's amazing. It's amazing to see people in the chat. I mentioned at the very beginning that if I was thinking just the other day, what would I do if no one turned up? And how disheartening that'd be. So it is incredible that people turn up and watch this. Thank you very much for doing so. UK Guitar Noodle, the spur wheel. Yannick Gers. Is it Gers or Gers? Retrospective says, can you play any Extreme? I love the band Extreme, but just like earlier when I was talking about Testament, it's not a band where I can just go, I'd have to listen to it. I mean, I'm not going to play that song. You know the one that I could, but I'm not going to do that one. I just watched a Nuno Betancourt video, actually, before I did this stream. The clickbait got me. It was only a 30-second video. It was just a crazy lick. But no, sorry. Some people are just those jukeboxes of guitar, aren't they, where you say, hey, play a riff, and they just bring it out the bag without even thinking about it. I can't do it. I can do it with some bands. How small are your notes? 16th or 30 seconds? Oh wow, that is a Pandora's box for another day, I think. Subdivision is one of my favourite things to talk about, and I could spend an hour talking about that. I've spent an hour already avoiding talking about what I even came here to talk about. Maybe next time I'll talk about subdivision, but they're small. My notes are small. If you think about that, 3, 4, and then sometimes I don't even know. Especially when I do this. That's just to create fun interest, which no one really cares if you break it down. When I start the alternate pick, all that stuff, that's when I start going, okay, yeah, I could tell you what I'm playing there. Okay, right, distracted by chat, talking about Iron Maiden. I'm not going to get distracted for now. I'm going to bring that back. So, what about this then? What about if I'm in the key of, let's go back to C major. If I'm in key of C major, and I have that chord progression that I started this live stream with, I played a C major chord, I played a D major chord for a few bars, or 1 bar or something, followed by a C major chord. I'm about to write the notes of a D minor chord on the screen. I want you to tell me what the notes of D minor are. There's only 3 of them. First one's D. What are the other 2? Let me know in the chat. Time's ticking. I've got to make the point I'm trying to make. Glad you like them bones. Alice in Chains are one of my all-time favourite bands, and I never talk about them at all on the channel. JD says DAF. Yeah, let's just flip those around. DFA, just to put them in musical alphabetical order, we end up with DFA. Let's change this to this to that, this, all changing. That's just my nice normal C major scale, and the 2 chords that I've got now, where's my thing gone? My little mover. My 2 chords are C, E, G, and D, F, A. Let me switch those on the head because I'm going to play the D minor chord to begin with. Got the D minor chord going in to a C major chord. So just like I did before. If any of you missed the beginning, I did this incredible, amazing thing. You missed it now. I was just jamming over this cool chord progression that I came up with. It goes like this. Like that. Okay, and I didn't play any wrong notes, and it all sounded perfect. It goes to C major. So my nice little chord progression based on chords 2 and 1 of the key of C major. Let's go back then to the first point I made. All these chords are derived from a C major scale. So then I can just do mindless noodling in a C major scale and it'll work. I could do a bit more outside playing and purposefully play notes that aren't even in that scale. Which I do with varying degrees of success. I'm just trying to squeeze that in because that's the style of playing that I'm currently working on in my own playing. I just wanted to get a bit of secret practice in there without anyone noticing. Anyway, it worked, didn't it? Me just playing that. Okay, you do all your 3-note per string stuff and all your shred, all that stuff, and it works. But what if I now do a D minor arpeggio over the chord of D minor, followed by, wow, 12 people. Welcome to the chat, 13 people, welcome to the chat. Like the chat, the stream, it helps it reach more people. So I've just played noodling around in C major over 2 chords. Now I'm going to outline a D, F, A, arpeggio, D minor, C, E, G, C major. I'm not, shall I label those? Yeah, go on. There's a music theory lesson, let's do that. So, DFA is my D minor chord, and CEG is my C major chord with capital A. There we go. Just like before, you have to reach a point where you memorize all this stuff. We've done the musician side of the brain stuff, the side of the brain where you do all this working out, and you think about, you do a bit of writing even. And now we switch on the guitarist side of the brain where we go, okay, where are the notes D, F and A? I can't help you with that. Just find scale diagrams and arpeggio diagrams online. A quick image search will sort you out. There's a D minor there and there. I'm definitely going to add the minor 7th on here by accident a few times. Major 7th there. And then I'm going to switch to the C major chord. I'm sure you're way ahead of me here. 14 people here. That is incredible. Welcome to the stream. Check out my channel if you haven't already for free stuff, free guitar stuff. D minor arpeggio over the chord of D minor, sorry. C major arpeggio over the chord of C major. It's going to sound like this. Simplicity. The beautiful simplicity of arpeggios. I'm going to let you listen to that again. My Letty Friedman wrong note into right note there at the end. Oh, I meant to do it. It's powerful. It's powerful to be able to play lead guitar in a way that you could play that lead guitar without a backing track and still hear chord changes. See you later, Pop-Up Pirate. I will scroll up and have a look at chat later on. Yeah, to be able to play it without the chords and still imply chord changes. I've got lost. What's happening there is I'm adding bits. I think I've practiced that, and I need to go over that stuff again. It reveals to me what I need to practice, those simpler bits. What's happened to me all the time is I've got those and practice those, but then I want to add those other notes. It's just habit coming in. Forcing myself to do that simplification is amazing for my ear, but it's highlighted some inconsistencies in my playing. When you get confident outlining chord changes, D minor, C major, and you add the music back in, it makes for strong soloing. Do you know how daunting it is for me to make a point of saying something like, and now here is a perfectly strong example, and then to just press play and then attempt to bring it out the back? It's very daunting. Then I go into comfort zone there at the end, just notes, scale, easy scale. Arpeggios, 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 arpeggios. When I said that just then, it made me think, why have I named this basic soloing concepts when I've just said that I have to default to easier stuff? Because I'm not talking about technique here. I'm talking about musical concepts. To play all those notes of a major scale over these two chords, there's loads going on. At any one time, you could be outlining all sorts of extensions over those chords and not be aware of it. That's the danger. Because a lot of the time when people want lessons with me, they'll say things like, well, I'm playing the notes, but it doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound right over the chords. You have to strip it back to these basic concepts. Makes it sound like that's an easy thing to do, but it's not. I've highlighted it to myself today that I need to practice it much more. As the chords, the beauty of this, of course, is that the chords don't even have to be related. What if I had this? So that is a C major 7 chord followed by a D flat. Can tell I like jazz. I love jazz. These are unrelated chords, but if I think of them as just arpeggios, I can really, really make it sound strong. You get what I mean? Hopefully. Okay, what are we? 6 minutes past. Whatever. I'm going to read chat. I'm going to read chat for 10 minutes and see what happens. Okay. Yes. Oh wow. Ibanez D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished. Yeah, that's all the chords of C major. Major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished. It's well worth memorizing that stuff. And Ibanez says D sharp for blues. That's an interesting one. D sharp for in the key of C for blues. I did actually write blues on my notes. I was going to do this. Okay. You've just actually, by saying the word blues, you've just reminded me of something that I was going to talk about. Okay, so all that stuff that I've just said, plus this, very briefly, and then I'll read chat properly. The eyes twitching again. Need more sleep. A blues. Okay, C minor blues. I've got to do the whole 12 bar thing here. Bear with me. That's too quiet. Okay. I think that went a bit wrong. Doesn't matter. You can do, if you really want to approach this in a very simplistic way, do minor pentatonic position ones, but change them as the chords change, like this. That's F, back to C, G. I did that so quick, I did a quick turnaround because I got nervous that people get bored of me just playing a 12 bar blues, but that turnaround there, and then back to C minor. That's useful to do, to know them in different positions. Again, I'm forcing myself to move up and down the neck. Usually I would do something like still in F, C. I can do the change. Outline the chords by knowing the scale shapes and thinking about minor pentatonic. Anyway, I was going to talk more in depth about that, but I didn't. Right. So we're going to wrap up just by looking at chat. UK guitar noodle. So many blues guys only learn pentatonic and obviously skip over 2 notes. A lot of they do, don't they? A lot of players do, because it's useful and it's easy. And I can never say anything about that because I teach guitar to kids, you know, to like in the formative years as guitar players, and go on into playing guitar for the rest of their lives, hopefully. And I teach them that first. I go, hey, guess what? If you play fingers 1 4 1 3 1 3 1 3 1 4 1 4, you can play anything. That'll sort you out. Why do I do that? Because I want them to sound good quickly. If they then continue taking lessons with me, that's when I push them. But it's very tough to learn other stuff. But it's very tough for a self-teacher to push themselves. Then that brings in motivation and listening to music as well that utilizes that stuff. And pushing your ear and reading books, heaven forbid. Yeah. Okay. Retrospective, you get it, mate. That's why you haven't created anything. I think that was in relation to me and the dauntingness That is a word of saying, and or you can do this perfectly good example like this, and then pressing play. It's tough trying to do this, even to just 9 people, but it's 9 other guitarists. That's the daunting bit. Matt, you can tell I like jazz. I love jazz. I'm never too far away from a book like this. This, I love. This is my favourite book of all time. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Non-fiction. Now, UK Guitar Noodle says nice, full stop, great. And I know what character I'm picturing when I read nice and great in relation to jazz. There's my work phone. What's going on there? Oh dear. Right. JD. Unrelated chords might be easier to learn to play arpeggios over because the chord change is more obvious when learning. Yeah, it's foolproof. If I did 2 major chords that were side by side, and I did that because I see that as easy on the neck. But what if I did like a C major 7 and then this thing, an F sharp major 7? They're unrelated. They're not in a key together. That'd be nice. It forces you to think about the neck in different ways as well. Urban's Sword is saying 1, 2, sharp and second, 3, 5 and 6 for the major blues scale. D sharp is the raised fourth of the minor, important for blues. I get exactly now where you're coming from. Do you know what? I've never seen it as a sharp and second, major third. That'd be, wouldn't it? No, minor third. Minor third is sharp and second. Okay, interesting. Scurry book, a scurry book. It is a scurry book. The real book. I always talk about. Well, I remember bringing it up once. I always exaggerate. The book that I get all these crazy ideas from. It's the greatest book on music theory ever written. It is jazz based. It's just called the Jazz Theory Book by Mark Levine. I read it all the time, but I've not got it next to me. Matt says, love these streams, always learning something. Well, I love doing them. I hate the first 5 minutes, but I love the next 55. And I can definitely see why, proper streamers do these for like 2 to 3 hours, because it's addictive to just talk and see chat ticking away. It's nice to do it in real time. When I talk to this tripod, do you know how many hours of my time is spent talking to this tripod for the actual YouTube videos that I do? It doesn't talk back to me. I've tried. I always ask it questions, but to actually talk to real people is amazing, and to get the real time feedback is exactly what I need as a teacher. So, what's your favourite novel or fiction book? Mine is Blood Meridian by Core. Yours sounds really highbrow. I have no idea what that book is. It's way too highbrow for me. I love reading, and I love the books. I love the books of Sean Hudson, James Herbert, David Gemmell. Do you know what? It's just them 3. I'll read others, like Tolkien and Ray Bradbury, all that stuff. Sci-fi, horror. Horror is my main one, and fantasy. Yeah, that's about it. What am I reading at the minute? I'm reading Frank Herbert. Not June, though. I'm reading the other one that he did. It's so good that I forgot the title of it. It's called Hellstrom's Hive. It's an interesting read. Retrospective says, you should do a live stream with no guitar playing then. Just answer questions. Do you know what? That is an idea for the future. Just chill. The YouTubers that I like do them all the time. Just call it a chill stream or something. Yeah. I think that in a stream like that, I'd be more likely to do the jukebox thing and play or listen to a song. If you say play that song, and I know the band, but I don't know the song off the top of my head, and then I listen to it and I go, oh, that's that one, and work it out. I'll probably do that. Just more off the cuff stuff. Be Around says, not knowing theory really limits me. It's so obvious. Theory is a dangerous one because it does get to a point where you can let theory play the guitar for you, which is, there's my work phone again, is dangerous. I'm going to chuck it over there. Is dangerous. So you've got to take it all with a pinch of salt. There is a lot to be said for just sitting and noodling and seeing, oh, well, that sounds good, I'll record that. But then when you paint yourself into a bit of a corner, then you bring the theory out the bag. UK Guitar Noodle, I'm very jealous that you're reading iCartridge. Retrospective is off. Yeah, I'm going to go in a minute. Just saying the final goodbyes. Be around, review, recommend a band for your Spotify. You mean as a to put on a playlist? I went to an incredible gig the other night. It was insane. I went and saw the band Mayhem in Manchester. Incredible gig. Extreme black metal. Have a listen to them. There's the first one that popped up on top of my head. Music theory wise, they're just doing the black metal thing. All that kind of stuff. Give them a listen. You might hate it, I won't be surprised. A lot of people do. I love it. Matt, I'm going to read Matt's comment and then I'm done. Matt says, it'd be great to just talk about our favourite guitarists and tracks on one of these. It would, because that's what musicians love doing. It's that gift in it where you listen to a song that you love so much, it makes you feel a particular way in that moment, and you want to share that. So you tell someone else, and sometimes they're not as enthusiastic as you were in the moment. You're like, what do you think? What do you think? But it is nice to do that. That would be a good idea to do that, because sharing stuff is the best, especially for musicians. If there's still 8 people here, Facebook, I'm trying to push this a little bit. I'm on Facebook now a bit more proper than I was. Type in Anthony Guitar as my first name and Tutor as my last name. Anthony Guitar, Tutor. Or look at the description of this very live stream. Ah, my voice is gone. Right, and the butterfly effect is only just saying hi. Butterfly effect, you've missed out this time, but if you subscribe, you won't miss out the next one. I do these bi-weekly Wednesdays, 6:15 to 7:15, and I would love to see you there. So much so that I'm going to give you a little whammy bar twang, and then I'm going to say goodbye. Goodbye.